The power of the HOA, a debate over the color of this house, sparking more questions about the amount of power these associations have. It's how a homeowner can fight back. Plus, a fall from grace. Bill Cosby, found guilty of sexual assault, could spend the rest of his life in prison. How many of his other accusers are calling this victory? And our guys JJ and Jose teaming up for a big giveaway. What these superstars are doing to help a Houstonian in need. The news starts now.
KHOU 11 News at 4 starts now.
First, guilty on all 3 counts. That is the verdict in Bill Cosby's sexual assault retrial.
Of course, the man once known as America's dad now faces time in one of America's prisons. Laura Podesta now explaining why Cosby's defense team says the fight is not over.
Some of Bill Cosby's accusers left the courtroom in tears after a suburban Philadelphia jury found the entertainer guilty of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault.
I'm so weak with emotion right now and with gratitude that I can barely stand.
After the verdict, Cosby shouted across the courtroom, calling the district attorney an a-hole when the DA told the judge he was concerned Cosby would flee before sentencing.
He used his celebrity, he used his wealth, he used his network of supporters to help him conceal his crimes.
Cosby's defense says it will appeal.
We don't think Mr. Cosby is guilty of anything, and the fight is not over.
The 2-week trial focused on accuser Andrea Constand. She testified that Bill Cosby incapacitated her with 3 pills he called your friends and molested her at his suburban Philadelphia mansion in 2004. The jury also heard from 5 other women, including former model Janice Dickinson, who all said Cosby drugged and assaulted them too. Cosby has always maintained his relationship with Constand was consensual. His defense team took aim at her credibility, calling the former Temple University employee a pathological liar who would say anything. Defense lawyers said Constand falsely accused Cosby so she could file suit against him. Constand smiled as she exited the courtroom. Cosby faces up to 10 years in prison on each of the 3 charges. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
And Bill Cosby had to forfeit his passport before leaving the courthouse. He is not allowed now to leave the state of Pennsylvania.
New video shows black smoke billowing from a U of H parking garage this afternoon. A car caught fire and the flames spread to several other vehicles.
University police officers saying it happened on the 5th floor. Adam Bennett live on campus now. So Adam, we've learned a firefighter was hurt. So what's the latest on that firefighter?
Well, Jason, we're hearing he is going to be okay. Thankfully, we're told he was transported under the lowest of priorities just as a precaution. And a source inside HFD told us that it was his turnout suit, got a little too close to the flames and got burned. But beyond that, he's okay. No other injuries as well, which is amazing when you look at the damage here. You can still see where that fire was coming out of the top floor of this garage. Absolutely incredible. No other injuries reported. This is the East Garage near the business school. The cause still under investigation. So take a look at some of the video from earlier. It was really something to see, just black smoke pouring out of this garage just after 1 this afternoon. One UH official who saw the damage inside firsthand told me he saw 9 cars burned in total, some of them unrecognizable. I talked to a couple of students who said they were in that garage when that fire broke out. They told me they saw the flames start under the wheel of a sedan and took cell phone video, but they say those flames quickly grew and so did the smoke.
Talked to 911 and it got really smoky really quickly, and so I had to stick my head outside to get some fresh air to talk to them because they were just asking a lot of questions clearly, so it was just hard to breathe.
Yeah, so right now students are not allowed to go back into that garage to get their cars just because this is still an ongoing investigation, though UH hopes to let them in sometime this afternoon. Right now, engineers are actually looking at the garage itself to make sure that it is structurally sound. So back here live, again, you see that damage on the top floor. It happened, I was told, on a ramp between the 3rd and the 4th floor of this garage. I'm told that this may not open until sometime on Monday, but in the meantime, UH officials say that people with permits in this garage will be allowed to use other garages as well in the time being. Jason and Reka?
Yeah, and I'm sure the folks whose cars may have been burned are anxious to find out whether or not their car is safe. Thanks, Adam. Do HOAs go too far? That's what a local neighborhood is asking after the color of a resident's house has become a sticking point.
So is that house gray or purple? Our story is getting a lot of reaction on social media. And while people are debating the color, Jessica Borg now looking more closely at the role of HOAs. Jess is live in Summerall with more. Jess, so what did you find out?
Well, Jason, Reka, many people rely on HOAs to enforce high standards in a neighborhood, making sure rules are followed, like keeping cars off front yards and making sure homes are well maintained. But sometimes residents can find themselves in hot water with HOAs, and they wonder if there's any recourse. It seems like a simple question. Is the color of the trim on this home gray or purple? The issue is actually complex.
In Texas, homeowners groups start out with a lot of power. The presumption is they're usually right.
In this case, the Summerall HOA says the color is lavender and therefore in violation of HOA rules. The homeowner's son says they've been slapped with almost $1,000 in fines in recent months, although the home has apparently been the same color for more than a decade.
They're kind of out of control.
The family feels the HOA is overreaching. KHOU legal analyst Gerald Treese.
There's a balance between protecting property values and then riding a certain homeowner too far.
Many residents like the idea of restrictions, including keeping grass mowed and trees trimmed.
This is the neighborhood image.
Until they think they're being unfairly targeted. Treese urges property owners to read the area's bylaws. Most HOAs require that a homeowner pay their attorney fees if the property owner challenges the group. Buddy says in 2015 and 2017, the state legislature created protections for the homeowner, stating that as long as a person is paying the homeowner association fees, their house cannot be foreclosed upon. A lien can be put on the house, but the money would not be collected until the house is sold. Experts say compromise between the homeowner and HOA is often the only answer.
The lone warrior has a really bad time unless the bylaws give him a remedy or unless he, the homeowner, can turn it into a political issue and rally support with other homeowners.
And that seems to be exactly how the conflict over the paint color will be resolved. The homeowner tells us since media coverage of the issue, the HOA has reached out to him, expressing an interest in putting the problem to rest. And that could be the case as early today. We reached out to the Summerall HOA today for a comment, but have not yet heard back. Jason, Reka.
All right, Jessica, thank you for clarifying some of those issues.
No doubt. And on our Facebook page, lots of you are debating whether HOAs have too much power. Raj says, yes, they do. They act like they gave you your house for free as long as you abide by their rules. I paid for my house. It's mine. Want to control my home? Then pay for it. Rick disagrees, saying you signed the contract, you know the rules, obey the rules, simply quit whining, just move to an unrestricted neighborhood. And of course, we're still taking your comments on our Facebook page.
People have a lot to say about that. A domestic assault turns deadly in Southwest Houston. Police say they responded to help a woman who was in trouble, but just 3 hours after they left, her attacker returned to shoot and kill her. Matt Doherty is live at her apartment complex with what happened. Matt.
Yeah, Rika, police say the woman did exactly what you're supposed to do. She even had the apartment's management come back and change the locks after she left, but that didn't stop her suspected killer, they say. They say he came back, kicked in her door, then he shot and killed her. Now that man is now in critical condition at the hospital. Police are not giving his name. They're not giving the name of the woman who was killed either. Police say both of them are in their mid-30s. Police had gotten calls to the apartment in the past, and they say the couple had been dating.
It's a cycle of abuse, and so recognize the signs when you're in it and prevent it and get away from it. And sadly, it looks like she was attempting to do that, but it was too late.
Now, police say the woman has 3 kids, not with the suspected killer, though. Again, at last check, he's still alive, but in critical condition. Now, police say they have spoken with other family members of the woman. They, too, have shared stories of this alleged abuse. Back to you, Reka.
What a tragedy. Thank you, Matt.